Thank you. So I would like to be simple, just to tell you that the majority of complications in endovascular intervention are at the puncture site. So it's important to choose very carefully the vascular access. So first, vascular access, the retrograde femoral access, that's the standard technique for intervention in the aortoiliac, renal, digestive, supraortic vessels, the most commonly used. And we can say that 80-90% of pelvic obstruction can be treated using this approach. It's safe and simple. Sometimes it could be difficult to puncture the femoral artery when you have no pulse, but in the majority of the cases, it's simple and easy. So you have to puncture the common femoral artery 1 centimeter below the inguinal ligament. You see here. So you puncture 1 centimeter below this ligament and with an angle between 30 and 45 degrees. So pay attention to that. And as you heard this morning, most of the time, try to have a single wall puncture, but in that case, sometimes you have a risk of subintimal dissection. So pay attention to that. And with the double wall puncture, you may have a risk of bleeding. So that's the basic technique. And after obtaining a good pulsatil blood return, careful placement of the guide wire into the arterial lumen. Don't use hydrophilic wire for the first time. It's better to use a simple wire, and you place into your sheet, and over the wire you insert your introducer sheet. Sometimes it's difficult to puncture the femoral artery when you don't have any pulsation in obese patients with severe iliac diseases. So in that case, you can use the fluoroscopic method I saw this morning, and you puncture in that third here. So it's easy to place the needle. Sometimes it's also difficult to introduce the sheet in obese patients when you have fibrous tissue, scars, difficult groins. So it's better to insert a small size sheet, and you increase the size of the sheet to 6, 7, 8, and use also a stiff guide wire. If you use classical sheet without stiff wire, you have that, so it's difficult to introduce. So use a very stiff wire, and you can place your sheet. Technical recommendation: avoid higher suprainguinal puncture. You have a risk of uncontrolled hemorrhage leading to retroperitoneal hematoma. Avoid also lower arterial puncture. You have a risk of local complication, arteriovenous fistula, increased vessel occlusion. So by this way, you can treat any iliac artery, you can stent, case balloon stent, etc. So after this retrograde technique, you have antegrade femoral puncture, which could be more difficult in obese patients also, and you puncture in that direction towards this popliteal location, and also avoid high puncture of the common femoral artery with also the risk of hemorrhage. And maybe it's better also to inject through the needle some contrast to know exactly where is the profunda and the superficial femoral artery. You can direct your needle towards this superficial femoral artery. Crossover approach, the third approach. In that case, I want to go fast. You have to use a shape catheter you place through your sheet, and with the shape catheter you advance your wire, and you can cross any stenosis or obstruction, and you can advance also balloon stents over this guiding catheter, like here by crossover. You can stent iliac stenosis. You can also stent iliac occlusion, and you can also treat femoral artery by this crossover approach. When you have high lesion in the femoral artery, it's impossible to puncture here. So the crossover technique is indispensable, and you can advance a long sheet over your wire, and it's better to have a stiff wire, and after that you can recanalize any long femoral artery occlusion, and you can stent as in that case. And important also, when you don't have any NIP, you, by contralateral approach, you advance your guiding here, a crossover sheet, and with a Terumo wire, you can cross, make a loop, and also recanalize a very long femoral occlusion. When you have, like in that case, stenosis both in superficial femoral artery and profunda, you can do kissing balloon technique, kissing stent to treat these both artery. Advantage of this crossover approach, it's technically easier than antegrade puncture, associated with a markedly lower complication rate, and it's also you can do bilateral approaches to reconstruct aortic bifurcation and to do angioplasty or stenting in aortic segment. For example, here, when you have this bilateral lesion of this bifurcation iliac artery, you can do double balloon, kissing balloon technique, and also kissing stent also. You can do also, if you want, by this bilateral approach, you can place a stent in the aorta and two stents in iliac artery by both approaches. And also, if you want, you can place two self-expandable stents in the low part of the aorta and upper part of this iliac artery. So it's very easy to treat this aortic bifurcation. Also, bilateral approaches for iliac occlusion. In that case, as I told you, with a shape catheter, you cross this iliac occlusion with your wire, and you snare by the other way. You snare your wire, and you extract your wire by this way, and you can place over this wire a stent at the exact location. It's easier by this way than by this way if you use self-expandable stent. Like in that case, for example, long occlusion, you see, crossover approach and retrograde approach, two approaches, and by this way, with the Simmons, you recanalize Simmons and Terumo wire, you can recanalize, and you snare your wire, and after that, you cross by this way, you advance the balloon, and you can place a stent, one stent, another stent here. So you can reconstruct this aortic bifurcation with the kissing balloon expandable stent technique, and that's the final result. So it's important to know these both approaches. Popliteal approach, it's maybe rarely used, but it's a very good approach when you have a failure to cross total SFA occlusion by standard technique. And I like this technique because you can, when you have failure, you can cross by popliteal approach at least 80-90% of the cases. So when you have maybe 80-90% of success by antegrade approach or crossover technique, you can increase your success rate by at least 10-15%. That makes you can recognize at least 95% of all femoral occlusion if you use this technique. So you place your patient like that, in prone position, and you puncture here this popliteal artery. So to know where is the popliteal artery is sometimes difficult. So you inject contrast by the upper part, and you, under fluoroscopy, you can puncture this femoral artery, or you can use also ultrasound to know exactly where is the popliteal artery. So by this way, you see, you puncture, and you can recognize very easily this long SFA occlusion to have this nice result. Transbrachial approach also is a good approach, but not easy sometimes to recognize femoral occlusion. So for me, it's used to do angioplasty in supraortic vessel, maybe renal artery, maybe digestive artery, sometimes also to recognize iliac occlusion when you had failure by femoral retrograde crossover technique. But you can use either right or left brachial artery, but you see that by left brachial artery, sometimes it's difficult to go to descending aorta. So you have to use angle catheter, and you have to turn also your catheter. So it's a technique you must know very well. So it's used when you have this bovine arch. It's better to use this brachial approach or radial approach to recognize this artery. Transradial approach, you saw that this morning, commonly performed worldwide for both diagnostic cardiac catheterization and coronary angioplasty. So it's difficult to propose for any peripheral procedure, maybe for renal, carotid, but not for iliac or SFA. So we made some complications, spasm, hematoma, occlusion. Just to finish with transpedial approach. Transpedial approach, it could be challenging. It's not for a beginner. It's indicated after failure of femoral approach when you have leg artery occlusion, femoropopliteal, tibioperoneal trunk occlusion, and you see you can puncture under fluoroscopy or maybe after also ultrasound, duplex ultrasound, you can localize this tibial artery, and after placing your wire, you can snare your wire by the upper part and continue by this approach. So it's a very good approach, difficult, and I think for experts in this field. So to conclude, the choice of the vascular access is crucial. The arterial puncture is the first step of the procedure, which may lead to failure complication. All the technique must be well known. Several vascular accesses may be complementary to treat a lesion. Check carefully the puncture site after the procedure to detect quickly a complication and treat it. Thank you for your attention.